Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good night, everyone. Miss Natasha here. I hope you're doing well. I am, if you don't know, mental wellness creative and disability advocate, and we are going to have a discussion where we explore thoughts on manhood, and where those thoughts and feelings come from. uh, who or what influences shaped you into the man you are today? Interviewing fathers, asking the question, why do you create instead of hate? So let's get started. I have a wonderful gentleman here. I'm not going to introduce him because I'd love for him to use his own words to introduce himself, but I'm going to read three words I thought of when thinking of to ask you to be a part of this interview. And they are: you're an illustrator, that you're creative, and that you're warm hearted. And I know we don't know each other all the way, but every time I've interacted with you, you've had a very warm heart to, and not only from for with me, but also from observation from afar. So blessings and joy. Who do we have here?
So my name is Joseph Osei Bonsu. I'm an illustrator, graphic artist, comic book artist. I'm one half of the Heroes of the World and co-founder of Hot W Studios, along with another awesome illustrator, Mark Williams. Shout out to him. So what we've done is that with our brand, we've created with Heroes of the World, we've created heroes that represent different countries. And then with Hot W Studios, we dabble in all stuff creative, whether it be illustration for children's books, graphic design work, character design, and more projects. So that's pretty much what we're about. As for me, I know I've worked on various children's books and over the years, primarily Andre DeGrasse's Race with Me, as well as Victoria Daly's what was it, Mia's book club activity book. So those are some major ones I've worked on as well, and I've done stuff for the city, for Oakwood Village, as well as Queen Street West. If you ever go to Oakwood Village, and I think around Oakwood between St. Clair and Vaughan, down Oakwood, you'll see some of the street banners that I've designed. So yeah, and then like I said, the major one right now, the one that Mark Williams and I created was Heroes of the World, where we have heroes that represent different countries. So you can check us out at www.theheroesoftheworld.com and see a lot of our merchandise and comic books that we have on the site. So yeah, we're doing big things, trying to do
That's
big things.
wonderful. I remember when my uncle gave me my first comic book.
Oh
It
yeah,
was like,
nice.
I just, when he passed, he left the comic books for all the cousins to pick.
Oh nice. Which
So I have
ones?
a few of them. I also have some of your print.
Hmm.
I can't remember. It's a green and white young man in a green and white suit.
Oh, that's our main character. Yeah, so that's our main
Yeah,
character,
yeah.
Origaya. Yeah, so he's the
I
more the
didn't
main
put it
character.
in a frame
World.
yet. I
Yeah,
didn't put it in a frame yet, but my games room downstairs, I'm thinking
yeah,
like gold or black. Or if I maybe paint it navy blue. I'm not
yeah,
sure, but
yeah.
yeah.
That's dope.
Gotta big you up, you know?
That's it. Thank you. Yeah.
So I'll get started. Okay. So I like to know first, where did you find your manly inspirations?
Oh man, my manly inspirations. So inspiration comes from, obviously the men in my family, my brothers, my dad, my uncle, a few of my uncles actually. Just watching how they navigate life and how they dealt with things. I kind of took pieces from each of them and kind of spun it to my own usage. Though I will admit there were times back in the day where I was stubborn and I didn't really take in a lot of the things that they would tell me, but through experience, you end up encountering things and knowing, okay, hey, those people were right about that stuff. So it yeah, it's usually stuff I took from them and lessons I learned from them that I used to help me shape who I am today, and I'm still trying to navigate things. So yeah.
And examples of a father you'd like to be, or a father figure you'd like to be besides your father. You were saying your uncles
Oh.
and your brothers, like how did you all interact? Was it always positive? And when it
Um,
was negative, could you come back, bounce back, I would say, from like
I know
certain
with like
situations?
my dad and my oldest brother, even my second oldest brother, the interactions growing up were they were good. Then as we got older, like preteens, teens, things started to get rocky. I'll admit it. The household that we came out of wasn't the best environment in times. There was a lot of friction, a lot of like brouhaha, especially between father and older brother. But then you think about it. I remember we had my dad and I had a conversation about how he had to navigate how we had to navigate life when we were younger, and he was pretty much in survival mode. Like he was a cab driver. He was a cab driver, right? So he was driving around all the west end of Toronto, and
Mm-hmm.
every day was a risky. Like me and him, we would talk. Like during basketball game, watching the basketball game, we would talk, and he would be like, "Yo, I'm driving this cab through parts of like Jane and Lawrence and Jane and Finch, and there are days where I didn't know if I was going to come home, right? So that lingers in your head, and you're constantly at the same time too. You're trying to be a parent. So when he told me about that, I was like, you know what? I understand. I get it.
Mm-hmm.
I get why you were always on edge, but it just would have. I don't know. For me, it would have been better if it wasn't taken out on. If he didn't take that out on myself or any of my
Mm-hmm.
brothers,
Mm-hmm.
like. But what tools did he
How?
have growing up, right?
Mm-hmm.
He was always in survival mode, even when he was in Ghana, back in Ghana. So
Mm-hmm.
what can you do? You
You
can't. You
know,
can't really. You can't really. As a youngster, I did hold a bit of resentment because it was like, he kind of had a vice grip on us, very
yeah,
strict, very
yeah,
tight, right? But
yeah,
you get older and you realize, hey, there's a reason why he was like that.
yep,
He didn't want us to go through what he had to go through.
yeah.
Being an immigrant from Ghana, coming here and trying to navigate kind of a society that doesn't really foster a lot of
Oh,
black presence or black voices, I should say. I don't know, but yeah.
no. How did you, or
Mhm.
excuse me, who did you go to for guidance through those
Um,
times?
I would say my oldest brother, Charles, like as best as he can, as flawed as he could be, he was sometimes. It was him that kind of guided me through things, and was kind of championed me when it came to dealing with my folks. So
Yeah,
yeah, he was kind of the
that's
person I can really talk to about stuff, because he was kind of what was dope about Charles is that he's always like to this day he's always on my level. He always tries to get on my
oh,
level of things. So
that's
that's
great.
the best part about having him here when we were growing up. So,
Yeah,
and it's cool
when
seeing him
someone
as a father now with his two girls and his oldest son. So
Do you
Yeah.
find it, and I'm going off now my question.
Mhm.
Do you find it like that's like it's such a pleasure to be an
Mhm.
uncle?
Yeah, yeah, no, it's awesome.
Even how
It's
he done
awesome. Like,
you, even how your brother done you, You're like this
yeah,
now could be reciprocated.
yeah, yeah. I try as best as I can. A lot of the kids though, they have their own thing.
Yeah.
But whenever we interact, whenever we get together, I try my best to like provide that guidance or provide that encouragement to all my nieces and nephews, and just try and be there. And what's dope, and like my brother did with me, I try and get on their level and try and be and try and be one of them, but trying to like be that person that that's not too much of the authoritarian type, but
Non-judgmental,
just
non-judgmental. You're the outside
yeah.
person that's looking in.
It's exactly. That's how I try to approach it.
Yeah, and my uncle, both sides, like one side, he's the only male. Like
Hmm.
he had all the rest sisters, so
Yeah.
he always would stop and talk with me and ask me how I am and what am I up to and stuff like that. It made me so happy. I wish I connected with him more.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so let me go into what does friendship mean to you?
Man, friendship means family,
Mm,
brotherhood, sisterhood, all that good stuff.
yeah.
To this day, I consider a lot of my friends, male friends, my brothers, whether it be, like people I've grown up from high school, college, I consider them family.
Mhm,
Consider them friends, yes, but family most importantly. And we do have our hiccups, but
mhm,
try my best to like be there and be supportive of whatever they do, and not try to
mhm,
be too judgmental.
mhm.
Yeah.
That's great. You and you like I've noticed that a lot of men are lonely. They don't
Hmm.
have friendships.
Yeah.
There's a space there where there's a lot of men who don't have friendships and or it's hard to they don't know
Mhm.
how to connect or communicate in maybe safe appropriate manners. They weren't taught, so they never connected.
And if there are, it's usually in spaces that aren't the most encouraging.
Mm-hmm.
But no, the idea is that you find people that have, even though you might have different opinions, you find that one commonality. And that one commonality is the thing that binds you to that binds everybody together.
Mm-hmm.
Like for Mark and myself, for example, what bonded us together was the love of art, the love of
Mm-hmm.
comic books. He's a comic book guy, and to this day, he still inspires me. From high school, he was always the guy that was drawing and was drawing in the yearbook. He did a lot of murals and whatnot. Same thing with another art inspiration of mine, Alistair Thomas. Those guys were like the pillars for me when it came to inspiration. So he motivated me, Mark motivated me to like take my art seriously and stick to the art. So to this day, I'm forever grateful for him. There's another buddy of mine, another best friend of mine, Mad Stuff. He goes by Mad Sketch. He's been a huge inspiration. I've learned a lot of the art techniques that I'm implementing in my art now. I've learned from him, and a lot of life lessons I learned from him. Anytime we do connect, it's like we're always talking about life and art and
God.
everything in between. So I those are like I'm I'm very grateful for a lot of my male friends in my life.
It's a
So
blessing.
yeah, they're
Keeps you on point.
definitely keeps me on point. And I try my best to like send messages of encouragement to everybody, just because we have to lift each other up.
Mind, body,
Have to.
soul.
Yeah, we have to.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
lovely. That's lovely. I'll go into this one then. How do you take care of yourself? What does taking care of yourself look like?
Oh man, lately, it's just been exercise. Just been working out. I just did a
Mhm.
morning workout this morning
Yeah.
after a 3 week hiatus. So I
Mm-hmm.
caught a cold. I had a nasty cold, so I had to like take a step back. But
Recover.
now that I'm now that I'm like at 100%, I said, you know what? Let me just get back to it. So I'm back doing like the weight training stuff, and I go try and go for walks. So whenever I'm going to work, rather than take the streetcar, because I work downtown,
Mm-hmm.
get off at like Spadina and like walk all the way to work, or
That's
walk
right.
back to the station, or walk to these places, right? Just to get my steps in.
That's
Um,
right.
as an illustrator, I'll draw.
You see
Just
her.
drawing is very, very therapeutic to me, and um, I'll listen to podcasts, whether they're comedies, podcasts, or inspirational or political podcasts. I'll listen to those. And gardening.
Yes, getting our
Summer, I
hands
have my
dirty.
garden. I have my garden. I have my garden. I've set up my garden. I'm living at home, so I have my side of the garden, and I have my mom's side,
Yes,
and we'll help each other do plant stuff, and yeah, it's very
that
therapeutic.
sounds so wonderful.
I
That's
think
like, yeah.
gardening's definitely helped me during a tough time where I was
Mm-hmm.
going through some mental health issue, some mental health challenges. So
Mm-hmm.
I try and get as much in every summer as I can get. So
Good.
yeah.
I knew like I'd be impressed.
Mhm.
And I know it's like it's normal things. It's
Yeah,
normal things and
yeah.
we're just supposed to know what to do. But some
Hmm.
people don't know what to do. And if
Yeah,
if they heard it from someone like you, maybe they'll make a little change,
that's it. That's it.
a little tweak.
That's it.
Um, okay. How, can you give me I shouldn't say it like this. I'm going to change how I'm going to say it. How do you
Mhm.
inspire other men to be great? So like you were saying, one
Yeah.
thing was sending messages, exchanges from another man doesn't have to be aggressive.
No.
Exchanges
Oh,
with another man doesn't have to be malicious or hateful. It can be loving and kind and generous and patient and peaceful
yeah.
and grace filled. And
That's it.
so,
That's it. Oh man, how do I you know what? I just encourage men, your brothers and other men to be themselves.
mhm,
That's all. Encourage you be yourself. Be you and be true to yourself and be good to yourself. That's all I can do for you. That's all I can do for encouragement, right?
mhm, mhm.
I don't
Authenticity.
yeah, I don't have all the answers, but if that's one answer I can put out, it's that.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah.
All right. So I'm going to get into one of these that I have here.
Hmm.
How do you navigate hope?
How do I navigate hope? Man, that's a good question. That's a really how do I navigate it?
Mhm.
Oh man. Sometimes navigating hope can be difficult, right? Because
Mhm.
there's so much other BS that
Mhm.
gets put in front of you, right?
Mhm.
So much other BS. But then, I guess I kind of have to step it, stay, even though I feel hopeless sometimes,
Mhm.
I have to take a step back and be like, okay, this is temporary. Like
Mm.
there's definitely a way around it that'll help me be hopeful. So it's just I don't know, like I said, taking a step back from things when you feel hopeless and telling yourself, affirming to yourself that things are going to be okay. That affirmations definitely help.
Mhm.
Times where I'll get in the mirror and affirm that, okay, you know what, this will be okay. Everything's going to be fine. You got this. Everything works out. You gotta let yeah, you always gotta let yourself know that through the crappiest situations, through the toughest predicaments, you know things are gonna work out for the better.
Yes.
So it's just having that. And they might people might think that it's naive to think that way, but you gotta think that
You
way.
have to.
Have to.
You have to. Like, there's nothing else. Like the
Yeah.
even in the smallest way, okay, I I'll just leave a dish
Hmm.
right here and I'll go take a shower. Come
Yeah.
back and wash a dish.
That's it.
You know, the shower
Yeah.
will help you. Sunning yourself,
Yeah.
sunning yourself helps so much.
Yes, very much
You
so.
know,
Yeah. I encourage
yeah,
everybody, man, woman, whoever, center yourself when you feel that you're going off kilter.
yeah.
Yeah.
No, I said sunning.
Stunning. Oh, you mean sunning yourself? Oh, getting out in the
Yeah,
sun?
like yeah,
Yes. Yes, yes, yes,
and
yes.
centering. Yes,
Yeah.
and
But
centering. But
sunning yourself for sure.
yeah.
So one thing, and I'll go back to Mark again. Mark was sending me, he sent me a video one time about how it's better for you, better for us to be in the sun. Like if we're on if we're on a field with grass, it's better to be in the sun barefooted, right?
Mm-hmm.
But
Mm-hmm.
your
Grounding.
kind of the electrons or whatever from the earth kind of are there to heal
Mm-hmm.
and it gives you that more of that connection. So I've been trying to do that more often
Mm-hmm.
when the sun's out. I might even do that just now actually. So
And you get it when you garden.
yes, yes,
So if you're barefoot gardener, then you're
yeah,
getting it all. But
that's
either way,
it.
like, you're getting it
Yeah,
that way too, because you're
yeah,
putting
yeah, yeah, yeah.
yourself inside that.
Hmm.
Yeah. I
Yeah,
used to help my grandma, my parents, when I was younger, garden in the backyard when I was a kid. I
right.
um I had a little tiny garden
Mhm.
during COVID, and then I haven't gotten back into it. I even have a raised garden bed. So I was thinking this would be the year, and then I didn't start it. So I don't know if it's too late. And I guess
It's never
I'm
too
not a
late.
gardener if I don't know that, right?
Listen, we're in June. We're like mid-June, so you're good. You're good. You need at least from June till like October to
Okay.
get your stuff. I would say now would be better because you'll have July, August, September to like grow your stuff, and then by October, by like mid to late October, you could like pull all your vegetables and enjoy them, right? So
Yes.
yeah,
Um, who who do you look to for inspiration?
man, anybody within my friends and family circle,
Hmm.
anybody there. Are you talking about inspiration as like for manhood, as an artist, as
Well, you can discuss all of them. I would like.
yeah, I'd say yeah, definitely friends, family, everybody that's in my circle. I lean to for inspiration.
Mm-hmm.
Whether big amounts of it, little amounts, I try to lean to everybody and try and take in as much as possible, right? So
Hmm. I
that's
believe
that's
that
that's
you're
it.
a learner as well as a teacher.
Yeah. And and the thing about it is I'm forever trying to learn.
Yeah,
You know, I can't
and that's
tell
great.
I can't say to everybody that I'm here that I've learned everything I need to learn, but that's not true. There's always
Hmm.
something we can learn, we can take from. So, yeah,
That's great.
yeah,
Okay, so before I started this, I got the opportunity to talk to two men and ask them about and bounce the questions that I had off of and get some feedback,
yeah.
which is so helpful. So one question that um one of the gentlemen gave me was with regards to fatherhood, but I'm going to switch it.
Okay.
So, how did your relationship with money change after fatherhood? But I'm not going to ask you that. I would ask, how
Hmm.
did your relationship with money change after adulthood, like after adolescence into young adulthood,
Man,
now adulthood?
my relationship with money, that was kind of a challenge to be honest with you.
Yeah.
Because you grow up, you don't have too much, you don't get too much. So when you do get
Hmm.
money, it's like, oh, I gotta get the latest thing or I gotta do this. But now it's like, now I would say now it's better. It's definitely better than before. Like I'm definitely trying my best to save towards better goals. Ultimately, I wanna buy a property.
Hmm.
Ultimately, want to buy a property and then use it, and then obviously use the money towards investing
Hmm.
in play things like the Heroes of the World business and Hot W Studios and stuff and so forth. And then also look for, and then yeah, and then on as well as other things. So I'm trying to. I feel like now I'm better. I have a better grasp of my finances as opposed to when I was in my 20s,
Hmm.
where it was just, oh, a little bit of money you have, just spend it on this or spend it on that. It's like, no, 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 no. Yeah, ideally the goal here is for like even for like hot dog for like Heroes and Hot W Studios is to get more of the clientele in so that build we can build that mud that our finances and then use a lot of that to invest in other projects. So
Hmm.
that's pretty much where we're at with that and where I'm at with that. So
Yeah,
yeah,
I can see those characters in like a little mini series
that's
coming
what we're
out
trying to push
of,
for.
I can like when I saw them, I could already see it, but I'm just like that, so
Mhm.
that's why I'm like, I can already see it. I could already see
Yeah,
it, and I
that's what we're
know
trying
the
to.
other items on your roster are going to be just as great. So
Mm.
it's just, I asked that question because again, yeah, we we know money, but some of us have not been taught about how to um
Exactly.
neutralize our brain into thinking in how to use it and make it useful for us until later on in life.
Mhm. Plus, at the same time, too, if you think about it, we in school, we're not taught how to make money as entrepreneurs. We're taught to be
Hmm.
worker bees.
Hmm.
And in an industry, in an industry where, or in industries where, they don't really look at us, they're not really looking
Hmm.
at us, they're not really hiring us for things. So
Hmm.
it's important that we teach our younger guys, our younger peeps, how to make the money or how to create our own thing
Hmm.
so that we can be. And then also we have to teach our own how to invest in each other, right?
Hmm.
Invest in black businesses, as they say, because
That's right.
we can grow so much exponentially if we invest in each other.
All
Yeah,
words that just warm my heart. Like that's like uh the 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 cream of the crop,
yeah, right.
you know? The cream of the crop.
Pour into your black businesses, man, because we can definitely grow larger and faster if we do.
We have loads of reasoning as to why we should.
Yeah,
There's no
yeah,
more research about it. We don't need that.
exactly, exactly.
All right, I'll go into the next one, and because this will kind of tie into it, but kind of not. But I hope you see
Mhm,
why I say it like that. So, as a man, when you hear these words, what comes to your mind?
mhm.
Pride, ego, shame, guilt.
Pride, ego, shame, and guilt. Pride, I would say the positive sense of pride when I hear that word. It's more confidence. So confidence in yourself, confidence who you are and what you're about. Not pride in your in stubborn beliefs,
Mhm.
because those beliefs can change, I guess. Ego, ego is kind of is the right word parentheses of confidence. Ego
I'm
is
not
about self.
sure.
Ego is about self, and it
Mm-hmm.
has no. It's ego is temporary. You know,
Mm-hmm.
you can have a big ego, you can have an ego, but then that ego can be it could be dwarfed.
Mm-hmm.
Don't yeah,
I like that word. Mm-hmm.
with the wrong move.
Mm-hmm.
One wrong move and that ego is dwarfed, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I think of ego as something that's temporary. And then what was the other ones?
Shame and guilt.
Shame. We've all felt shame.
Mm-hmm.
When I think about the word shame, I think about it goes back to ego, right?
Mm-hmm.
One wrong move, and that your ego turns into that shame. And
You're
you're
good.
shamed. Yeah. But then again, you can't really hold that shame
Mm-hmm.
because holding on to that just leads to things that are much darker,
Mm-hmm.
depression,
Mm-hmm.
anxiety, all that other stuff. So I think
Mm-hmm.
finding ways of curing that shame is definitely needed. Um, and then the last one
And
was
guilt.
guilt. We've all done something that we've all done shitty things to people,
Uh-huh.
ourselves, but with guilt comes forgiveness,
Mm.
forgiveness of ourselves, forgiveness of each other, no matter how long it is. Yeah, you have to find that forgiveness within guilt. You can't hold on. You can't hold on to something for so long because that eats away. That's corrosive. That just eats away at you until you end up becoming something else, or
Mm-hmm.
that turns or holding on to that guilt continues into somebody else. So well, once again, learn how to forgive yourself, and then through that, learn how to forgive others. That's all I can say about that, really.
I love that. I love that. I want to know from other people about their beliefs and the way they think because I think that it will help another.
Yeah,
If I had a kind of a understanding of how people thought and it was like you have to be in this circle. If you're not in this circle, then it was like
yeah, the
it's
circle.
called. It's like no, why? Lord, keep me different.
Yeah,
Keep me different, oh Lord.
that's it. If we're
And
all the
I
same, it'd be boring.
yeah,
like, like, it'd be so boring if we were all the same. And
trust
what's with
me.
these circles? The circle should be a web, just a web that leads to different things and connects everybody, right?
Yeah,
Why is it all we have this circle here and this circle there and this circle here? No,
yeah.
let's all connect it. It's all connected. That shit together, And
Yes.
yeah.
Wow. And the last question. Okay. When did you find your dominion?
Dominion. As in when I found my dominion, as in when did I found my individuality? Is that
Yeah, your manhood, your personality,
man?
that vigor, that oof. I'm trying here. Like I don't know, but
I
I'm
would
what I've
say
been reading and what I've been hearing and even are you a faith-based person?
more spiritual.
Spiritual
Like I know
person?
who my
So it's
God, I know
like
who my God is. I
yes.
know
Yes.
pray to him
Yes.
every night
Like
before bed.
yeah. When did
I
you
feel I
learn, you know? Sorry.
No, it's good. It's good. It's good. I felt like I found my dominion in my I think mid to late 30s, to be
Mm-hmm.
honest with you.
Mm-hmm.
Through going through therapy and going through overcoming certain mental health challenges. I
Mm-hmm.
felt that I felt myself finally. I'm mumbling. Sorry. I felt myself finally trying finding my individuality and finding my footing on who I am, and I have a good grasp on who I am now and what I need to do and what needs to be done. Um, I'm still a work in progress,
Yeah.
like everybody else. I'm still trying to navigate life and relationships and friendships and whatnot. And I'm gonna get it right. There's days where I'll
Yeah.
get it right. There's other days where I won't get it right. But
Yeah.
I'm still out here trying and still how still trying to be who I need to be. So
You're being who you need to be.
yeah, that's it.
Right?
That's it.
And
That's
we
it.
break I said this before because I realized that we break sometimes to be so our foundation is way more better sturdy, way more sturdier,
Yes. Yes. Yes.
and
Yes.
it's hard, it hurts it's like hell, and we have to like get cast put in and like we got to go in our cocoon or whatever it is that like metaphor you could think of, and then when we're all
Mhm.
healed and we come out just
Yeah.
the way we're supposed to be, and it's like it's strength, inner strength, as
Right.
opposed to just outer, right? I'm not gonna
Right.
say none, I don't have none. I need to have been working. Yeah, I have been working. So,
Yeah.
but yeah, it's I find it like inner strength is what comes out
Mm.
of dominion. It like
Yeah.
what I've seen from others, what I've read, what I've heard. I you could tell.
And
Yeah,
knowing that you're not perfect, knowing
no.
your flaws, knowing your truth, finally stepping into your truth will help you find that dominion.
Mm,
Knowing that, hey, you don't have to be that guy that has all the answers for things. If you don't know
no.
anything, say you don't know. I think that was the difficult thing for me, or telling your truth without the fear of people getting upset.
Yeah.
You know, it's okay. People respect you more if you tell them how you really felt,
You hear
right?
that, man? You hear that?
No, like just those things, right? And I'm still having problems with that sometimes, but like,
Yeah.
yeah, it's good to know that I can speak my truth on certain things and not feel persecuted by it, right? So
I hope that no one ever does that to you.
yeah,
And if it does, you know how to deal with it in the best way you can.
that's it.
Yeah. And I hope that for you because it's tough out here, man.
Yeah, there's so much pressure to be
Yeah.
nowadays, right?
Yeah.
Gotta be this person or you gotta be that person.
Yeah.
Or if you're doing this in your thing, then you're not this. And it's
Yeah. Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
come on, man, stop that.
Yeah.
Let me be who I need to be.
And they don't
Why?
know who you need to be.
Yeah,
Yeah.
only you do. You know
Yeah.
only you
Yeah.
know who you are. Nobody
Yeah.
else. That's it.
Thank you.
No worries.
I really do appreciate this conversation, and hopefully like it could be
Likewise.
something more things in the future, and not only just on screen, also off screen.
Mm-hmm.
So
Mm-hmm.
I
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to ask if you have anything that you'd like to uh impart on uh a man, young or old, before we close.
Um, Before I close, so could couple the one thing, manhood's not a monolith. Manhood's not a monolith. There are different types of men that exist. There are different types of, yeah, like I said, different type of men that exist that walk this earth. You don't need to be one type of man. You could be multiple. You could be any type of man you want to be. no pressure. And it leads it on to my second point. Continue to be you and be true to yourself. That's all.
Yeah. Ooh.
Thirdly, thirdly, I want men to know that, yo, you're not in competition with anybody but yourself. Yeah, you're your best competitor, nobody else. So you should be looking at you. If you're looking at anybody else, you're learning from them. That's it. And then lastly, I thought I had two things, but it ended up being more. But I say, yo, therapy is king. Therapy, 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 man. You're feeling it. However you see therapy, do it. Whether you're talking to a therapist or you're going to the gym or whatever, do anything that's going to quench the soul. But definitely look into therapy because that's definitely king. Because I'm seeing a lot of people out here like there's an extreme mental health crisis, and we definitely need to lean towards our mental health experts. And at the same time, there definitely needs to be some mental health initiatives that need to exist in this country. But are any of these politicians listening? Not really. But then at the same time, too, don't look to them. It starts with you. Yeah. But yeah, that's all I have.
Thank
Random.
you. Ooh, and your contact information.
Okay, so if you want to check out the stuff that Mark and I are doing with Heroes of the World, check us out at www.theheroesoftheworld.com. On Instagram, we're at Heroes of the World. For our design studio, it's www.hotwstudios. That's HOTWstudios.com. And on Instagram, we're at hotw.studios. So you can check some of our work there. If you want to check out some of my work, at JO83, that's at JAYOH83. Yeah.
Thank you.
No worries, no worries,
I'm
no
gonna say my spiel now, but don't go.
worries.
Okay.
Here.
That was so wonderful. I wanted to let y'all know why I started Create Don't Hate. Create Don't Hate was born out of frustration. The frustration of individuals hating on me because of my differences. I wanted to start a movement of hope, courage, and love to build community and connection in the process. Create Don't Hate is a real practical way of sharing hope to those who have been muted and shut down because of just being who they are. Create Don't Hate is the anthem I used to play to get through the tough times. So I really appreciate you and
Appreciate you
thank
too.
you.
No problem. No problem. No problem.